Hi, my name is Miriam and welcome to my channel, Miriam the Medium. I am a medium to people, pets, and the paranormal. Each week I do a pick a card reading. We work with our animal power cards as well during the week, and then we do a channeled message. Right now what we're looking at is 2020, what the year holds for all of us. I'm going to offer you 3 decks. You're going to pick a deck, and then we're going to go from there. It's really important that you take the information I give you and know that you have 100% control over your choices. Nothing has to be a certain way. And also the hope is that one day you realize that you can tap into your intuition just the way I do. I don't have any special powers over you. I have just remembered who I am as spirit first, as someone that can tap into my higher self. You can do the exact same thing for yourself. You can tap into your own intuition so that you know every week, every day, every hour where you're at, what's coming, and how to manage what's coming. You learn that through a daily practice of meditation, of yoga. All of this is accessible to everybody. But until you get to that point, as we all did, we look to someone else to offer us some guidance in the hopes that one day again you find your own abilities of intuition to be able to serve yourself. So I'm going to first ask Spirit which 3 decks they want us to use, and then I will have you all pick one. All right, I was already told one. Deck 1. I'll show you in just a minute. This one, but I think that might be deck 2 and deck 3. All right, so let me clear the other cards out of the way, and then I'm going to, of course, show you the cards. You will pick your deck. I will put in the timestamps below so you can forward to your deck. In just a minute. Okay, so I'm just going to pick up one card from each deck, and you can, it's easier than holding all 3 decks. Okay, so, and I'm going to write this down, so hang on one sec. We've got deck 1, deck 2, and deck 3. All right, deck 1, deck 2, and deck 3. So this is for our 2020 read. Go with your intuition, gut feeling, the first thing that you're drawn to, the first image you're drawn to, okay? So deck 1, deck 2, deck 3. One more time, 1, 2, 3. All right, let's do this. Deck 1, 2020. So let's look at the year. What is this year going to hold for deck 1? Let us see. What do you all need to know? Deck 1. Oh, anytime cards jump out, we're going to use those. And let me keep. What is deck 1 need to know? 2020. Whew. Got some information coming in for you guys. Okay, hold on. They're flying all over the place. One sec. It's good. It's a good sign. Never bad when the cards jump out. Oh, we got some big changes for you guys in 2020. It's not going to look anything like 2019 did. It's going to be so different. You're going to be exhilarated. This year is just going to, if you take advantage of it, this year is just going to offer you so much opportunity. You have come out of a slump. 2019 was okay. It wasn't what you had hoped. There was some death, and death, for some of you, it was actual physical deaths you experienced, and for some of you, it was just letting go of some old crap. Just stuff that you had thought you'd let go of, but you really hadn't, and now it's like, okay, I'm letting this stuff go. I'm so done with this. And you've said goodbye to a lot of things. 2019 closed the door to a lot of stuff for you guys. I'm hoping that you are tuned in enough to yourself to see that you let go of a lot of stuff. And I hope that that was some conscious choices you made to let go of these things. This karma that you were carrying in 2019, it was heavy and it followed you. And there were so many times through 2019 where you were like, this again, seriously? You know, I thought I got rid of this. You did. That's the good news. 2019, done. It's over. 2020, you're not bringing that crap with you. And how we can make sure we don't bring that crap with us is we become fully conscious and fully aware of who we are and the choices we make. And if you don't know what that means, you do it in a daily practice, meditation, yoga, mantra, chanting, find it, okay? You have this karma, this heavy karmic debt you paid. Now, whether you, there's a couple of things going on out there, okay? I've got some of you guys who had physical deaths in your life, lost loved ones. And I have some of you who just finally walked away from bullshit, that had been recreating itself through your karma with your family. And so for those of you that lost loved ones, I want you to understand that is clearing of karma as well. We're not talking right now about the devastation in the mourning aspect that of course goes with it. We're looking at more of what you've become of, who you've become because of their death, that you have let go of some stuff from other lifetimes that you cleared through this person's death. And though even though right now you aren't feeling the joy, you're still in that mourning process. It's coming. It's coming. You will experience joy again. 2020 is going to bring you some of that. They're even saying adopting some animals. Some of you guys, especially those who've lost some loved ones, there's a cat that one of you needs to be rescuing a cat that's going to really fill you up. I'm feeling a lot of cats out there that need to be rescued by some of you guys who have lost loved ones. But you know how cats are, they kind of find you. So if they find you, keep them. But okay, karma. Now, if you didn't lose a loved one, but I was saying, you know, you're in that bucket of someone who let go a lot of stuff, a lot of crap, who's just been finally said goodbye to things they thought they said goodbye to, but maybe didn't. It's gone for good. That feeling of drowning in it is gone and is done, okay? What I'm waiting for you to do, and I'm wanting you to do in 2020, is to kind of present yourself to the world, they're saying, as this kind of emerged human being, this changed human being. They want you to step into 2020 kind of like with a strength and courage of a lion, and just, I have emerged from some pretty dark stuff and I am ready to take the world on. And that's what this looks like for you guys, is if you can find that in you. Now, know that I'm looking around January, February, this emergence isn't going to happen, you know, on New Year's Eve. There's still some emotional stuff to work through. There's still a little bit of going down into that darkness and coming back out. That's okay. I'm looking at late January, mid-February. I'm even feeling June is going to have another high for you, okay? So you're going to feel kind of this bump January, February. You're going to enjoy, level out. June, you're going to have another bump. In a positive way, emotionally, that's going to give you another surge to keep going. So for those that experienced a lot of loss in 2019, 2020 is not going to be that for you, okay? There's hope, there's joy, there's laughter, there's love. And for some of you who didn't experience death this year, that all may sound like silliness, but for those that did experience that death, all those things are so important to you, right? Feeling joy and love and laughter again and lightness again is so important to you, and you're going to feel that again. I promise. They're saying, not me. So going back to the collective deck one, what do we got? It's emergence. They want me to keep talking about, okay, so this emergence, masculine, feminine emergence. They're wanting me to discuss both because we've got this feminine, remember, masculine, feminine energy. I'm not necessarily talking about male, female here. Masculine, feminine emergence. So we're stepping out and they're saying like presenting yourself to the world as this newfound person, you know, and even though that seems very theatrical, it's actually very powerful because you're different now. You're different now. And if you don't feel it yet, you will. But I think most of you feel you're different now. And you can't totally put your finger on what it is and how you're different, but you are. And that's why they're stressing this emergence, this coming into power, this coming into self, okay? It's really powerful. June. Let's talk about June. June is going to be a pivotal point for some of us. So this emergence, the stepping out that we're going to be doing is going to be important because that strength that you acquire to come out is going to be utilized in June because an opportunity is going to be there for you, an opportunity to use your talents. Talents, that can mean anything, and it can mean, they're saying, to bookkeeping, accounting talents, all the way to creative talents. But you're going to have the opportunity to use your talents and send a message with your talents. This is going to be a very strong message where they're going back to accountants, bookkeepers, money. Some of you in deck 1 have this power to manipulate money. Now listen, you have the power to manipulate money, and you're going to do it in such a way that is of service to others. And I use the word manipulate very lightly. Manipulate, not bad, not lie, not contrive, but you're going to be able to create financially these opportunities that are going to be of service to others. You know, they're saying that some of you work in kind of a banking, or it may not be a bank necessarily, but a very fiscal arena, which is very black and white, right? But they're saying you're going to be able to get very creative with this and use this money to help others. This is around June. Okay. Let's see. Hang on. So September is going to be some family stuff. September, you're going to be noticing some family stuff coming up. Not this again is what I hear you guys saying. Around September is, there might be a wedding or some sort of family gathering that's going to force you all together. And I kind of roll my eyes when I say that because that's how you're feeling about it. Not that you don't love them, but it's just, it's a lot, you know? And there's going to be some explaining to do. Family's going to be looking at you and like, explain yourself. Why did you make these choices? Why did you do all this? And think about it. This is in September. So you've January and February, we have this big coming out, right? And then June, we've got this ability to shift and change things. Some of us from a financial perspective, some of us from an emotional perspective, to really help and serve others and to send a message with what we do. And then September, people, your family are going to be looking at you like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? This is silly. This is ridiculous. Don't explain yourself to them. Just be you. Just be you. You're coming out this year, okay? Which means you don't know you. You're going to be figuring out who you are. So they don't know you. Yes, they maybe have grown up with you, but you aren't the person you were back then. You weren't the person you were right now the second listening to this video, right? So don't explain who you are. Just be who you are. Right? I'm not saying don't communicate. I'm not saying don't share. I'm not saying don't teach and educate others on your changes and who you are and who you've grown into. I'm just saying don't do it in a way that's defensive and argumentative. Just be you. And if they don't get it, so what? You're happy. You're happy. This is a really good year for you guys. Deck 1 is going to have some really, really good just joyful moments, okay? There's love coming in, relationship. Some of you are going to be breaking up June, July, August, okay? You already know the relationship you're in has that potential, but there's going to be some breakups happening because there's a new love coming in. Some of you are single and there's new love coming in, but it feels like around that July, August, September, June, July, August time. So love is coming in, but it's later in the year. But if that is something you're seeking and looking for, pursue it. Go for it. Now's the time. Start looking now. It feels like it's going to happen later though, okay? If it happens earlier, beautiful, who cares? But know that that's love is in the air, they're saying, okay? I want us to continue to go back to this coming out time because they want you to remember that this coming out is really what this year is about for you, and not to minimize that or change or shift that because of how others perceive you, okay? Hang on, let me see what this is. You've conquered a lot and come out stronger because of it. You've conquered a lot and have come out stronger because of it. All right. So we've looked at, hold on, I'm trying to get, I want to look a little bit deeper into September through November, December of 2020. What do we have going on? We're going to have some people coming around that have opportunities for us, or are in a higher, like a boss position, who are going to offer us something, but there's going to be a catch. So this is speaking specifically to people who are wanting to move up in the company they're currently in. You're going to have that opportunity in 2020 between September and November. The person that offers it to you is going to be a boss of some sorts. I say of some sorts because it could be that it's not your direct boss, but someone on that same level as your boss. But be very careful on what they offer you and why they're offering it to you. I'm not saying don't take it by any means. I'm saying be aware of what's being offered to you and why it's being offered to you. That's what they're telling me. This is for people in deck one who already work in a company they're happy with and want to move up in. Again, it's not that you don't want to take the position. They're just saying ask those two questions. Why are you offering it to me? And what am I going to get from it? Okay. That's going to be really important. Don't walk blindly into this new position. They're saying don't walk blindly into it because there's something going on in that when you take on this new position, there's something going on at that level that you aren't aware of, and they don't want you to be aware of it, because if you were, you wouldn't take the job. But it's probably going to be workable. Again, it's not a make or break, but you're smarter than this. Use your intuition, ask questions, get what you need. Health and family for 2020 for deck one. Don't shut your family out in 2020. They're not going to understand you, but don't shut them out. So what does that mean? They're saying, find a balance. You have risen to a level of acceptance that they haven't. So that puts you in the driver's seat. You have to be the bigger person. So learn how to communicate, get pushback, but continue the conversation without you adding pushback, without you becoming resentful, angry, frustrated. Don't shut them out. Health-wise, deck one, some of you guys really need to change up your diet. What you've been doing isn't working for you anymore. It feels like there's a lot of, like I almost want to say gut problems, foods not moving, not digesting. For some of you, you got to look at changing that diet. You know you've needed to, you just haven't, okay? overall, 2020 is a really joyous time for you guys. Coming into your power, owning your power, and enjoying that. Make sure you subscribe to my page. Every week we do pick a card. Every week we talk to our power animals, and we do a channeled message. Okay, let's do this Deck 2 2020 reading. What do we got? Deck 2. What does Deck 2 need to know for 2020? Deck 2, 20. Whoa, these cards are flying out. Hold on. Hold on. Got Deck, it's funny, Deck 1 did the same thing. 2020 is an interesting year, man. It is interesting. We got a lot of movement happening. All right, what do we got here for Deck 2 for 2020? Okay. Deck 2, 2020, we've got make peace with your past. Make peace with your past. Let it go. Stop holding on to it. Some of you are holding on specifically to daddy issues. That could mean ex-boyfriends to father. Let it go. You're carrying. Listen, 2020 is going to be a really powerful year if you know how to embrace it, but you guys are carrying some heavy stuff, and you have to let go of this heaviness if you want to embrace what 2020 has to offer you. But you have to let go of this. You're pissed and resentful at someone and something, and some of you are probably watching right now going, no, not at all, not at all. Give it a minute. Something's gonna happen, and you're gonna go, oh yeah, I have been holding on to that. Let it go. You guys are feeling heavy. Let it go. Let it go. You've got so much to offer. Put it to rest. Okay, so this heaviness you're carrying, this sadness, this resentment, this anger, put it to bed, say goodbye to it before the end of this year. And if you're watching this mid-2020, do it now. Put this to rest, do an actual burial of it or burn it, write it down. If you know exactly what I'm talking about right now, write that shit down, burn it, bury it, do whatever you have to do. If you don't know what I'm talking about, get into meditation, get into yoga, get into therapy, because you're holding on to something and it's causing you some pain. Do you have back pain? Do you have stomach pain? I'm feeling it all right in here for those that aren't expressing it. For those that are expressing it, you know, and you're like, I'm writing it down right now. Burn it, bury it, say goodbye to it. Please, I want to let this go because I want to look at 2020 and some of your old shit's getting in the way and like you're not wanting to move on, and I need you to move on. You're not wanting to move on. Look at this card. Just holding on for dear life. Just holding on. Let it go. I can't help you if you don't let it go. All right, so assuming all of us are going to let that energy go, you're going to feel like this snap of a rubber band. When you bury this anger, resentment, frustration, it's going to just like, you're going to pop into place like a rubber band. Like it's going to open stuff up for you, meaning just on a career level, on a emotional level, love-wise. Some of you guys have been in a relationship for a really long time. I'm feeling like 16, 17, 18 years of marriage and some kids, and I'm feeling like you're really tired. You're really tired. I need you to make some changes, okay? This year needs to be about getting with your spouse and make some changes. You two are not communicating. You're not supporting each other. And I mean supporting each other in the sense of go take a vacation without any of us. Like just go with your friends and be alone for a week. That's what I'm talking about when I say support for your spouse this right now in this 2020. It's about For those of you that have been in these really long-term relationships and even have kids, that's the support we're looking at for 2020. Separation without separation, okay? Encouraging each other to go out, explore, not with other partners, but explore life. Go on retreats, go on vacations, go out with your friends. Separate and support the, one of you stay home and support the family while you go on your weekend retreat, and vice versa. Like, support each other that way. We don't always have to be, sometimes when we've been in a relationship this long, we might already listen to each other and talk and communicate and have a great vibe there, but we all of a sudden forget, like, maybe I don't want to spend my weekend with you. Like, maybe I need to go be with my friends right now. Support each other that way in 2020. 2020, for those of you that have been in a long-term relationship, it's about finding yourself outside that relationship and then bringing that back in, okay? These long-term relationships are feeling really heavy and kind of tired and sluggish, but you still love each other. It's all there still. It's not about divorce. It's about a different type of support. It's about that separation of support and saying, you go over there, I'll stay home. When you come back, I'm going over there and you stay home, okay? Make 2020 be about that. Make a conscious effort to leave and take time off. Make a conscious effort to get out of the house, to get away from your family, and just enjoy life on your own. And what does that look like and feel like? You're going to be exploring new sides of you. Those of you who aren't in a relationship already, but are looking for love, you need to do some more work on yourself, because you are going to continue to pull to you the same bullshit. All right? This January through March, for those of you that are not in a relationship, January through March is about going within, okay? Therapy, yoga, meditation, journaling, whatever you need to do to pull up and out that darkness we were talking about earlier. They're saying that those that are not in a partnership, this is why you're not, and this is what's holding you back. And if you bring anyone into your life between now and March, it's going to be the same old crap. Soul searching, soul searching, soul searching. And I can hear you now saying, I've already done it. Soul searching we do our whole life. It never stops. In and out of therapy. Meditation should be daily, sometimes twice a day. That should never stop. But, journaling comes and goes. Therapy comes and goes. These things all come and go because sometimes we need them and sometimes we don't. There's more work to do between January and March on yourself to get you to this perfect mate. August, September was pivotal for the other deck as well. But August, September is where the matriarch in your life, mom, whether she's in body or not, is going to make a presence, okay? And she's going to be like, what's going on? Grandkids? No grandkids? What are we doing? You can feel it, but I don't know if you can articulate it yet, but you know that it's not about grandkids for you. It's about the right partner. And when it's about the right partner, you gotta let go of the past and those habits you got from your parents, okay? And that's why they were stressing therapy, journaling, mantra, yoga, all of that, right? If you choose to have a mate and children, that's all there around December, where they're saying around December 2020 is you're going to have all this laid out for you. Like, you're going to know, okay? But don't do it because the matriarch in your life pushes you, rushes you, questions you. And the matriarch in your life may not be your birth mom. It could be your best friend. It could be anybody, right? But that's not what moves you to make choices. Because if it was just having the stereotypical family and getting married because it's what you do, not necessarily because you're in love, you would have done that a long time ago, right? So you know that you've needed to wait for the right reasons, and it's going to be worth it. December, all of this is going to make sense, meaning you will have met somebody and you will see where that's bringing you. Now, you could easily meet someone way before December, okay? But this is right now where you're at with your pace That's where we're looking. Now, come January, you might be like, get my ass in therapy every week, meditation every morning, yoga twice a week. You could be meeting someone, 6 months earlier than that. It's your choice. You have the power, not me, to do whatever it is that you want to do with your life. That's the great thing. Most important is you don't let this matriarchal figure make choices for you, push you into making a decision, or make you feel like you're not moving fast enough or not making the right decisions. No, keep where you're at, okay? We see some opportunity and success. For those of you that are in like data entry, data driven, like numbers, not necessarily fiscally, but more data driven numbers, statistical numbers. They're saying someone is in that field or could move into that field with some success. It's very specific and interesting. We're going to see March is going to present you all with the opportunity to change. March is going to present you with the opportunity to change. This is emotional, okay? It's going to present you with the opportunity to change. And when that opportunity comes, grab it, because you will move into a really strong partnership from it. And that partnership is going to present you with some financial stability and opportunity. It's going to move you out of this darkness and into this light. Now, I'm sure you're asking, is this feels more from a professional level, more than emotional. March is where there's going to be some wheels turning, shifting, changing. Opportunities start to kind of present themselves. They're not necessarily right there, but they're just kind of peeking their head out, and you're like, oh, I could do that. I could do that. That's around March. That's going to be really important, okay? Most important for you guys for 2020 is that this darkness we're carrying is released, as we talked about. Next steps is they're saying for professional purposes, they want you to look at any changes you're wanting to move towards. That's around March is when you're going to see some opportunities. I know we talked about also later in the year, but we'll look at March is going to offer you some options as well. From health perspective, they're saying there's a lot of you that get it's either migraine or like nasal pain. This migraine and this type of pain is coming from your inability to communicate with people who are wanting more from you. And instead of giving them more, you're kind of closing up and closing up and closing up, and that's causing the head pain and it's causing the congestion. So they're saying, for those of you in deck 2, from a health perspective, communication is going to help open up these blocks that you're experiencing. I do see some marriage, I do see some weddings, 3 weddings in particular. 2 of them will be more of an attendance. 1 is your marriage. So one of you guys is gonna, they're saying one of you will actually be getting married this year. I think you already know and have already planned. That's not going to be shocking and new. But the 2 that are going to be attending these other weddings, they felt the need to point out, they're asking you to go to these weddings with a very open mind. So for some reason, you're going to be invited to these weddings and you're going to be a little like, oh, do I have to? They want you to go with an open mind, okay? So let's work on 2020 has a lot to take from. 2020 for you guys, you've got opportunity in love, you've got opportunity in career. The reason why it won't happen, if it doesn't happen, is because you are holding on to some old anger and resentment, okay? So to make 2020 be bigger than really you've ever imagined, they're saying simply let go of this anger and resentment that you have just been holding on to forever. And then boom, you've got opportunities March is a milestone. September will be a milestone, and December will be a milestone for you. All right, make sure you subscribe. Every week we do pick a card. Every week we work with our animal totems, and then we do a channeled message every Friday. Thank you. Okay, let's do this. Deck 3, 2020. Whew. 2020 has been a pretty powerful year so far, Deck 1 and Deck 2. So I'm interested to see what we got for Deck 3. We got cards flying out, which is good. Hang on. Let's see what we got for Deck 3 for 2020. Deck 3 for 2020. What do we got? There's a lot of opportunity in 2020 for a lot of everybody. I mean, that's been a consistent theme, is we've got some great opportunity. If you can grab onto it, you can put the past behind you. You cannot bring your karmic bullshit with you. There's going to be some great opportunity for you. A quick movement for you guys. February, March, April. Opportunities, I see multiple in the fields. Astrology, I also heard astronomy. A lot of multiple job offers for some of you. For some of you, it's get out of your own way. Get out of your own way, because this year is coming in hard and fast. And it's this year for you guys is like you're going to be handed a platter with just everything on the menu, and you're just going to be like, I don't even know, what do I choose? So they're saying you got to let fear go. You got to learn how to make decisions quickly and off of intuition this year. For some of you, you're very logical, and that's going to be very odd for you. But if you want to really grasp the opportunity of 2020, you've got to make quick decisions, gut decisions, okay? You also need to be willing to leave where you're at. A lot of you need to leave where you're at. Specifically career-wise, careers, what we're looking at and talking about right now. Leave where you're at. You've been there too long. There's someone that's been at their job for 5 years. Get out. You've been talking about it, and we're all kind of tired of hearing you talk about it. Just get out, okay? You actually have somewhere to go. There's a friend or some connection that is actually like, I have a job here. What are you doing? And you haven't been taking it purely out of laziness, and that's ridiculous. Stop being comfortable. Okay, stop being comfortable. Comfortable doesn't get us anywhere. Growth is where growth gets us everywhere. That's what I was trying to say. Comfortable is just complacent, you know? And this year is not about being complacent. This year is about being big. This year is about taking opportunity by the hand and just going farther than you ever imagined with it. 2020 is about you guys leaving jobs. That's what they're saying. Leave your jobs. Okay, now within reason. If you were thinking about it, do it. Stop thinking about it. If you were not thinking about it, you are going to be presented with something that is going to force you to think about it. Does that make sense? Something's going to happen and shift at your job, and you're going to be like, God, do I have to leave? Should I be leaving? You're going to be seeing almost like, you're going to feel like it was like magic, like it just dropped from, out of nowhere, these opportunities. They're just going to be like, whoa, where did that come from? You guys are ready to roll and ready to move and ready to change. And you're like, all right, let's get on with it. I'm ready. What do I need to do? Where do I need to go? What does this need to look like? So I'm seeing multiple opportunities because of that. I'm seeing you utilizing the resources you have and the contacts you have, really grabbing onto those and just grab the bull by the horns and go. Just go. When it comes to career and opportunity for Deck 3, sky's the limit. Like, it's there. I don't even want to talk about fear. It's not even there. Just go. Okay. Career looks really good. I feel like January, February is just gonna kind of be like getting started, and then you're gonna see like March, April, May. May will be a milestone. March, April is where you're gonna start to see stuff. Oh, I could do this, I could do that. June will be another milestone month, meaning it's a month of opportunities. So like if you may decide in January, okay, I'm going to leave my job. Okay, so you're going to take January, February to really figure out what that looks like for you, build your resume, blah, 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 blah. Come March is when you start sending it out. So if I say May and June are another milestone months, the same thing would apply. If you're looking at making some sort of changes or selling your house, prep it, and then May and June is when you apply it. Does that make more sense? Okay, plant the seeds first and then apply in those months. September's another milestone month, October, November as well. See, we've got so much opportunity this year. August seems a little bit quiet, but August is just kind of ramping up to some more changes and opportunities come September, October. So for career, if that was a question, a concern, as far as should I leave my job? Yes, leave your job. Should I take a whole new career path? Yes, you should. There isn't anything that's off the table in deck 3. They're saying all of you already knew it in your gut that this was a time for change. Do it, okay? I'm not feeling any warning signs, any don't do this, don't do that. It's just go, 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 go for you guys, okay? I want to talk a little bit about family. They're saying that they want you to be more mindful, thoughtful with your families. They said that in the other decks too, which I thought was interesting, was being more conscious of your family members and of why you're connected to them, what you're supposed to learn from each other. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to talk to them more. They're just saying that they want you to go back in and find out a little bit more about why you were born into this family and why you are connected to them. This is going to play a role in your whole life. It plays a role in your personal, professional, because it's where you came from. It's one area of where you came from. It's one lifetime of where you came from, but it's having a direct effect on where you are right now. Not necessarily negatively, but they're saying that you're going to need that information and you're going to use it later on, 2021 specifically, because 2020 is all about go, 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 opportunity, change, growth. 2021 is going to be like, okay, I have done all of this and I need to help my family and apply all of this somehow to my family. 2021 is going to be about application of the success you've had in 2020. Does that make sense? Relationships. If you are if you are in a relationship and you have children and you are married, please stay where you're at. Some of you are thinking of leaving. It doesn't feel like it's really what you want to do is leave. They're saying what you really want to do is figure out a way to shift up where you're at. You got to talk. You're not talking. You're not talking to each other. And you walk out, you're walking out on someone that you love and that loves you just so you don't have to talk to each other. Like, and I'm not talking about like day-to-day talk. I mean, you don't want to open up. Talk, communicate. Some of you, like I said, who I'm speaking to now, you're in marriages, you're in with family, with kids. Communicate. They're saying that leaving is not the answer. Now, sometimes leaving is the answer. But for you guys in particular, right now, leaving is not the answer. You haven't done everything you need to do to make sure that this is right and working and functioning. You're not doing your part. Those that are not married, that are looking for relationships, that's coming. May, June, you're going to get some clarity. May, June, you're going to get some clarity, meaning you're going to start to get more prospects that are good. Right now, it seems like you haven't had great prospects, but that's going to shift and change around that time. But be patient. And it's gonna start out slow this year. You may meet one or two people that you think are, but they're not. For those of you that are single in deck 3, it's gonna start out slow and dry still. And then spring, summer is, there's gonna be hope there. Why is it taking so long? Honestly, you haven't been ready to commit. You think you are. You're like, oh no, I'm ready. But you're really comfortable with the way your life is, the way it is right now. And to introduce someone into it seems like a lot of work. And I don't know that you've ever really confessed to that, but that's what they're saying. But this is a year of movement. So if you're single and if you're looking for a relationship, like long-term marriage, kids and all that, you'll find it. It's going to start out slow, but you're going to find it. Don't worry. Some of you really need to take this year and take all the opportunity that's being given to you and turn it into something really good that gives back to others and serves others. And not be selfish with this, they're saying. Don't be selfish with your money and your time. Share and give to others. You will have many reasons to give back and many reasons to be grateful, so share that. For those of you, hold on, let me see. Some of you are really afraid of coming into your own power intuitively. Some of you are really afraid of that side of you and actually, like when you feel intuition or you're like, you think of someone and then they call, that actually spooks you. Take this year and pull out of that. Knock that off. Intuition is who we are. We're spirit first. It's inevitable. You can't run away from it. There's nothing scary about it. Embrace it. Okay, let me see what else we got for you guys. Some of you are going to find that the groups you are a part of, whether it's personal groups, friendships, religious groups, they're not serving you the way they used to this year. And so you're going to be asked to move away from them. And it's going to be the best thing for you. You're going to move away from them and then find some quiet, some stillness that you're going to need to kind of rethink who you are, what you stand for, what you believe in. That's going to be really important this year, okay? From a health perspective for you guys, some of you guys need to be aware of your joints and your pelvis and your hips and your thigh area. I'm feeling a lot of injuries happening because we're not consciously aware of our movements. We aren't doing classes or exercises that support the whole body and the spine. And so some of our limbs, some of our hip, pelvis areas are getting thrown off, causing injury, pain. So this year, be really conscious of the type of exercise that you do and choose. Otherwise, health-wise, some of you weren't great in 2019, but 2020 looks really good because you've made some conscious changes to improve your health. So for those of you that have made those changes, it's going to continue to get better for you. So stay on the path you're on, and even you could even get a little bit healthier with it because you're going to start to feel really, really good soon, okay? So as far as health, I'm not feeling anything really too crazy. That's pretty standard. Yeah, no one else needs any addressing. So it's a great year. It's a really powerful year. Use everything you've got to get everything you can out of this year. And know that if you want it, you can have it. 2020 is a powerful year. Not only do I feel it, but in every single deck, we've got this ability for people to really be who they are, come into their power, and express themselves that way through their work, which is really phenomenal. So make sure you subscribe. Every week we do a pick a card reading. Every week we work with our animal spirits. And then on Friday we do a channeled message. So have a great 2020.